Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in today's session on asset and patch management. Thank you very much for patiently waiting with me for this webinar. I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate the fact that all of you are taking the time out of your busy day where you balance work, household chores, and taking care of family to attend this webinar. I really hope that this webinar will be informational and useful to all of you. So before I begin, I just want to, I really trust that you, your team, and your family are healthy and safe from COVID-19. The situation is pretty intense in a lot of countries. In India, for example, the situation has been quite worrisome. It's the number of cases seems to be increasing with every day. And I live in one of the metropolitan cities where the number of cases is quite high. So it's quite worrisome. And we're genuinely happy for having to be able to work from home and have this opportunity. So I really hope you guys are healthy and safe. And so this situation is bad not only for the country, but also for many organizations and businesses where a lot of business processes have been put to test in this situation. The remote work situation has really put to test the contingency plans and business continuity plans that we had before we even expected such a crisis to grow of this scale. So in light of that, we are also seeing how we can help our customers manage their IT better, manage their business processes better. And one of the things that we thought we could do was help our customers have patch management right within Freshservice. And that was one of the core reason of why we built this patch management at such a fast rate. That said, let me introduce myself shortly. I'm Hema Lakshmi. Some of you may have joined me in other webinars that we conducted. So if you know me, a shout out to all of you there. And I come with 7 years of experience in SaaS industry. I worked with Zoho for the first 5 years of my career. I worked in the network monitoring solutions suite of products there. They have really nice solutions. And then now I'm with Freshworks, which again has such a refreshing UI and such great capabilities in it. So I'm really happy working for Freshworks, especially in Freshservice. So that's about me. I'm really hoping to learn more about all of you today over this webinar. So here is the agenda for the next 40 minutes or 60 minutes if you'd like to stay that long. So the first part that we're going to see is automated asset management, which most of you might already know, but I wanted to touch that briefly for the sake of all of our audience. And then we'll go into the bigger subject of today's topic, which is automated patch management. So we will set the field by exploring why we need patch management, what happens if we don't do it properly. And then we'll see how automated patch management in Freshservice works. And I'm also going to give you a demo of patch management. So that is going to be interesting. So to start with, automated asset management has been in Freshservice for quite some time now. And it really helps people understand why automations are important. So there are many tangible and intangible assets in organizations, which is spread across in organizations of different sizes. Small businesses, medium businesses, and mid-market enterprises all have many assets. And the worst part is that these assets are spread across different geographical locations, which makes it quite difficult to monitor and follow. So that's one of the reasons why automation in asset management is extremely important. And then there is also the fact that the manual inventory management is quite expensive. It's time consuming. It's also inaccurate. There is always space for error when you do it manually. And then by using asset automations, you can increase efficiency. So these are all the benefits of asset automation. And let me also just quickly show you on how asset automation works in Freshservice. Wow, I have too many tabs open. Okay, so this is the Freshservice dashboard, and in the admin section, under Help Desk Productivity, you have Workflow Automator. And in Workflow Automator, we have included the Assets module recently. If you click on the Assets module, you can see a couple of default workflows that are already present, and I have created this one for the benefit of today's webinar. And this workflow is to create an automatic process for recovering assets from after offboarding. So the event that is going to trigger this workflow is when an asset is updated. And what should be the condition is that the used by field of that should be none. When the asset status is updated where the used by is none, then the action that we want to execute is to set the asset state as in stock and also send an email to the managed by person. And here you have the option to insert placeholders from all of these options. And here you can also insert these placeholders in the body of the email. So this is a very simple use case of automation for assets because I wanted to spend more time on patch management today. So, but you can create complex workflows for automations for assets. So please go ahead and explore this section in your Freshservice instance and get back to us if you need any help with this. And meanwhile, I would also like to let you know that if you have questions during the webinar, please feel free to raise those questions in the question and answer panel of your Zoom window. Now, we do not have panelists for today's webinar, but I will have a separate 10-minute Q&A session at the end of this webinar. So I will try and answer most of the questions in that 10 minutes. So please feel free and raise your questions in the panel. With that said, let's go to patch management. So let's first explore why patch management is even important. Why are we even discussing about it today? What is the situation that has made patch management important for organizations? So the first thing is that patching software is actually hard. It really is hard. When you want to patch software vulnerabilities on a bunch of user devices, that may sound easy, but then imagine thousands of devices across different geographic locations spread across the globe. It becomes really tricky. And it doesn't help that the number of patches and updates deployed by major software providers keeps increasing. Every day they keep deploying new patches and updates. And in addition to that, the current modern IT infrastructure also demands to be built by a lot of vendors and suppliers. So it is no more a simple infrastructure which can be managed with minimum amount of vendors and suppliers, but it is sprawled out with a huge set of vendors and suppliers, which again makes it which again makes it hard. And in addition to that, not all of the software or applications have an alert or alert mechanism where you get to know when they give out an update or a patch. So you will have to manually follow up on their on their news channels or on their subscriptions to be notified when they deploy a patch. And not only that, even the traditional patch management softwares that some of you might have in your organization, they still require manual intervention to deploy the patches, which again beats the whole purpose of having a patch management software. And with all those reasons combined, sometimes all of that will lead to a huge loophole through which there are so many vulnerabilities that arise. And did you know that 1/4 of global organizations faced breaches because of unpatched vulnerabilities? And this is a report from 2019. And these outdated operating systems and third-party applications always leave business systems vulnerable to attack. And not only that, the security attacks on an unpatched business system impacts both the user and the confidential customer data. Now, this will cost you very dearly in terms of reputation, in terms of expensive lawsuits and the loss of business. Now, all these reasons combined together have given rise to the need of an automated patch management. You will be able to reduce the amount of time during which your infrastructure is left exposed to a vulnerability. Because of all the automated alerts that you receive, you will be notified the second that the supplier announces the patch for that particular software update. And you will be able to, using workflows, you will be able to automate the deployment of those patches. But then, if you're going to follow a manual patch management policy, then that is going to be a very time consuming and resource intensive, and which will also put a deep dent in your budget. And not only that, because of the very fact that it is high in cost, it could involve a lot of problems within the management in terms of budgeting. But in turn, if you use automated patch management, it gives the IT managers great control and accountability over the security status of your systems. And it also, of course, reduces the vulnerability exposure. It increases the visibility that you will have inside your infrastructure. And it also brings down the number of resources that you will need to improve your security data. Now, at this point, I would like to ask a very simple question to all of you just to understand the audience of today. Please take a couple of seconds to answer this poll. I'd like to know if any of you here use any tool for patch management currently. And if the other question that I have over there is, have you heard about Automox and Manage Engine Desktop Central? And if yes, are you guys using it? Or if not, if you're using some other tool, that's also fine, but just select whichever option suits you the best. This will give us an understanding of the infrastructure of our customers so that we can go forward and create integrations that will help you. I'll give a few more seconds for you all to fill in the poll. All right. Thank you very much for taking the poll. Thank you for that. Now let's go ahead with the automated patch management that we have in Freshservice. Now, this patch management is powered by Automox. So if you're already using Automox, it's just a matter of inserting the API key and you're good to go with that. Or if you're using Manage Engine Desktop Central, we still have that. So if you're using either of these tools, you can go ahead and have this automated patch management right after this webinar. So the different things that come with the integration with Freshservice and Automox is that Automox supports multi-OS. It supports Windows, Mac, and also Linux. And Automox is also compliant to automatic patch. And you will be able to have configuration management using Automox. And Automox also has asset discovery. And because of all the combination of these benefits, you will be able to have clear insight to your endpoint devices. And in the Freshservice side, you'll also be able to have a clear asset lifecycle management. And finally, you will be able to do automated patch deployment. So what do we have from this integration? We'll be going through each of these, and then I'll be showing a demo of the integration for you. So first we'll see about maintaining an inventory of all the devices in your organization. You first need to know what devices you have in your infrastructure. And then we'll have a look of how you can gain visibility into the health and patch statuses of these devices. And then we'll see how you can remediate and deploy patches to all these devices. And then we'll also see if you can enforce other device policies to these devices. Now, all of these you can do right within your Freshservice instance, right? You do not have to switch tabs between Automox and Freshservice. You can do it within Freshservice. So first, let's see how you can maintain inventory in Freshservice. So the first step of maintaining an inventory is to discover all of these devices. And Automox comes with great discovery agents, which you can discover in Automox and then sync it with Freshservice. So what happens is that all the details and information that are captured by Automox automatically get captured in Freshservice as well. And you'll be able to see them along with the context of all the other modules that you have in Freshservice. You will be able to see the incidents, changes, and problems that are associated to that particular asset, along with the details and health statuses that are provided by Automox. So this really eliminates the need for maintaining multiple discovery tools where you do not have to have a particular integration just for discovery. You can have the discovery and the management and patch deployment as well using Freshservice and Automox. Now, here is a peek into how you can gain visibility into device health. So right within Freshservice, when you go inside a particular CI, you'll be able to see the connection status, device status, and the pending updates of that particular device. And when you see a pending update, you can directly deploy this particular update into that device. The next one of the most important aspect of patch management that we wanted to see today was how you can remediate and patch a device. So you will be able to perform different actions like scanning the device, restarting the device, or send a patch all to all the devices. Or you can also set different worklets that you have configured in Automox. You can deploy them to all the devices from Freshservice. And we also have the option to deploy a software and enforce policy. Now, here you can see in the screenshot that I have on the slide here, you can see all the list of commands that are available in Automox that are populated within Freshservice in a dropdown. You also have the option to search the worklet or the command that you want to deploy in that particular device. Now, this gives a lot of benefits, which includes improved user productivity, enhanced security, better compliance as well. Now, these are all the benefits that you can get by the integration of Automox and Freshservice and creating automated patch management. Now, with that, let me take you to the demo of Automox patch management. So let's go to admin. And in admin, under help desk productivity, you can see apps. And I have already enabled Automox, but if you haven't, you can go to get more apps. And under assets and incident, you'll be able to find Automox. And once you get the Automox, you need to install it. And once you install it, you will be able to give all the information like the Automox API key, your Freshservice domain, and the Freshservice API key. Now, let me also quickly take you to the Automox instance. So this is the Automox instance that I have for today's webinar. And here you can see that before you start, to get the API key of Automox for you to put it in Freshservice account, you need to go to the settings page. You need to first sign up to Automox. And once you sign up, you can go into the settings and go to the API part of it, copy this API that is available here. Once you copy that, you will be able to go back and add it in Freshservice as we mentioned earlier. And once you sync it there, you will be able to get all the devices. And in Automox, you need to discover all the devices within using Automox. So for that, all you need to do is add the devices within Automox. Automox gives you the option of which OS that you want to select. And here you have the option of installing or having a remote installation, and the key is also given right here. So once you do this, Automox is going to discover all of the devices and it's going to capture that information in Automox. And by syncing Automox and Freshservice using the API key, you're able to fetch all the information from Automox into Freshservice. So that is what we do here. So once you put the API key, the next option will be for you to sync Automox and Freshservice. So you will have the option to sync it every day or weekly. So we usually suggest to have it every day because having the most updated inventory is the best case scenario. So you will want to keep it daily. And if you sync it, you'll be able to get all the details from Automox into Freshservice. Now, once you do that, you will be able to go to the inventory in Freshservice. And here you can see all of the devices that have been captured. Now let's take this device for example. And here you can see that on the right hand side, in the right hand panel, you can see the Automox app that is being shown here. And when you click on that, you'll be able to see the connection status, device status, and the pending updates. And you can also perform different actions as I showed earlier. You can scan the device, you can restart the device, you can patch, or you can send device commands. When you click on device commands, it will show you all of the device commands that are existing. Now, if you want to add a new worklet, then all you need to do is go to the Automox portal and create configlets right there. So let's see how you can do that in Automox. So in the Automox homepage, you'll have system management. In system management, you can see that they have a couple of default policies, but you can also create any policy that you would like. So here you can see that you have the option to create worklets for any OS. So let's select Windows. And for Windows, all you need to do is give a name for the policy info and give notes on what that policy does exactly. And you have the option to have your evaluation code right here. You also have pre-packaged worklets right on the side. And you can enter the remediation code right here. And then you can upload the file. And you also have the option to schedule this particular worklet right from Automox, but you can also do that from Freshservice directly. So that gives you the idea of what Automox integration with Freshservice can help you in terms of automated patch management. So this whole functionality of the integration gives rise to various benefits like improved user productivity and enhanced security and better compliance. The productivity gain for IT departments and employees will be because of the less downtime, because you are up to date in terms of the patch management that you have in your environment. And also you have enhanced security where you have all the security patches installed before any vulnerability creates a loophole. And you have better compliance because you have all the security and compliance standards that are met in your infrastructure. Now, if you have any questions regarding patch management in Freshservice, you can definitely reach out to us and we will be happy to give you a one-on-one demo, or we would like to give you more information through an email or send you some more assets regarding this. We'll be happy to do that. Just take a couple of seconds to fill out this poll. If you would prefer not to be contacted for this, you can choose the maybe later option. Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate you taking the time to engage in this poll. And in this time, I would like to introduce the Freshworks community that we have built. And this is a community where we will have all of our customers across the products, where all of you customers can interact with each other and ask questions, help each other out in different business scenarios. And we will also be posting about the product updates, roadmap information, and any new announcements that we have in this community. We'll be sharing the link to where you can join this community over the follow-up email. So the next webinar that we have that's coming up is about incident management and response for remote teams, especially in these times when the IT team is also working from remote and all of your teams are working from remote. We thought of having this webinar. So if you would like to join this webinar, please respond to this poll. We'll be happy to enroll you into this webinar. That sounds really good. We'll be exploring the K-Base 2.0 that we have come up with. We'll also be talking a few options using Freddy that we have, our AI platform, which will help you bring down the resolution time. This is amazing. Thank you. It looks like a lot of you have interest in the upcoming webinar. We will enroll all of you in the webinar and you'll be able to join when we run it live. I once again would like to thank all of you in joining today's webinar. I hope this short webinar on patch management was helpful to all of you. We will reach out to those of you who selected that you want to be reached out for this. But anyway, if you would like to have any more information, we will get back to you on this. And for all the questions that you have raised, we will send in the answers along with the recording of this email. And we will also be sending the presentation along with that. Thank you.